Hello, and a very good morning to all of you on this beautiful Sunday morning. Thank you for taking time to join us and make your Sunday meaningful. We all do talk about climate change very often. Why not understand how we can all, in our own simple way, make a change and create an impactful difference with smart solutions? Would it not be remarkable if actually each one of us can indeed make a difference in carbon zero future and help sustain our own planet thrive? I often say sun is our biggest and priceless battery. Well, Simbym takes joy in promoting charitable and environmental causes, clean and renewable energy sources. As part of that commitment, we are delighted to present one of the foremost environmental guardians in India, D. Suresh, who is more popularly known as Solar Suresh. My name is Mala Raj, co-founder and president of Simbym, a completely no-coding, innovative cutting-edge technology of next-generation software holistically integrated digital business operations platform primarily for enterprises. And we welcome you to a fine session, which is split into two segments this morning. Sola Suresh will share with us on how one man can make a difference, and then you can interact with him should you want to make a difference for yourself and for planet Earth. Well, now over to Sola Suresh. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's yours.
I start with a couple of slides given to me by Shobha Madam. They are trying to introduce me here as a solar person. Now I move to my Thanksgiving. Sorry. To the organizers, primarily I'm here because of Shobha and also College of Engineering Gindi Alumni Association. Thank you for inviting me to talk about green initiatives, or I also call it as climate change and what can we do about it. There are people who have spoken about it and have been given Nobel Prize. 2008, Al Gore, American Vice President, produced a documentary and showed it to the world what climate change and how it affects the world. For that, he was given a Nobel Prize. I've done much more than that, so I should not be faulted for hoping for a Nobel Prize myself. I'm going to start with a 2.5 minutes video. This has gone viral. This organization called Better India, based in Bangalore, they are trying to focus now on so-called good things. Their philosophy is the newspapers and TV channels, they are all only talking about negative things. Therefore, why not we promote what is happening? There are several good things are happening in the country. So they produce this document. I mean, they produce so much, but they produce this documentary about me. This has gone viral all over the world. So I'm going to make a beginning with this.
Free electricity for next 20 years, no power cuts, free food, free cooking gas, and free water. This house behind me is where all of these things are free. You don't believe me? We're back with another episode of Sustainable Homes, and this time we are in Chennai. We are here to meet a man named Solar Suresh. Interesting name, isn't it? His story is even more interesting than his name. So let's go meet him.
Creating an awareness. I'm a one-man army, one-man evangelist. I've done my engineering from IIT Madras, mechanical engineering. I graduated in 1967. I should travel to Germany. So during my travel to Germany, I've seen lots of
rooftop solar plants. That triggered my idea. A country without sunshine, if they can install rooftop solar plants, why can't we do it? From solar I got into biogas, from biogas I got into kitchen garden. So 1 kilowatt I installed in January 2012. It cost me about 2.5 lakhs. Today we can do it between 1.6 to 1.8 lakhs, we can do it. I upgraded by adding another 2 kilowatts, so totally 3 kilowatts. So this 2 kilowatts it cost me about 3.5 lakhs. Totally I spent about 5 lakhs. This is the biogas plant. I put the kitchen waste. This is the funnel in which you put the kitchen waste. Automatically gas is generated. This is a floating drum where gas is stored. I put about 3 to 4 kg waste per day. Only organic items. It generates gas. Simultaneously, it generates a slurry which is rich organic manure. I collected from my neighbors. I collected from 2 vegetable shops in my neighborhood. They are generating a lot of waste per day and they are spending money to dispose of that. So it's a win-win-win situation. The basic objective of biogas is not producing gas, not producing manure. It is garbage management. Pebbles, charcoal, sand, 3 layers. So what I collect it in a tank, pump it up and use it for cooking and drinking. And every rainy day, excess water I connect it to the well. Water goes into the well. Welcome to my terrace kitchen garden. Everything is grown organically. I told you about my biogas. I generate organic manure. I use that organic manure here for growing vegetables. And I've created a forest-like situation, atmosphere in my house. I planted the bamboo trees, put 2 creepers, there's a neem tree. It looks like a forest. I don't see the neighboring buildings. I tell everybody I don't complain. There are enough things to complain. There are enough reasons you can find for not doing a thing. Do not expect the government to find the solutions for you. Assist the government in finding solutions.
Like people are moving towards artificial intelligence. Are you able to see that? Machine learning,
Yes.
robotics, digitization. Okay, good. I am going back to tradition. I'm going back to roots. This is for sustainability. Sustainability is one word which is being used rampantly. I'm using a Oxford dictionary meaning. Sustainability means avoiding using up natural resources. I'm giving a bird's eye view of what I've done. I've done 8 projects in my house. Rainwater harvesting, rooftop solar plant, domestic biogas plant, terrace kitchen garden. I created a forest atmosphere. I got an air to water generator. I got a solar car, first in India. I have a solar charging station. A wastewater recycling, which is pending in my house, but I've done it in other houses. What I've done is, there will be some repetitions, you got to excuse me. It's very simple, no rocket science. This is the most important thing. Ideas taken from villages. All these things are happening in the villages. We have forgotten it. I'm trying to take them back and revive them. It's practically doable, technologically feasible, economically viable, most important, environment friendly. Today, all of us are talking about environment friendly. My first project is rainwater harvesting. There are two types. First is filter, store, and reuse. You see here, all the pipes, rainwater is very pure. It accumulates certain impurities in the terrace. I bring all the water down. I got a filtration plant. The name is very big. Filtration is nothing but a sedimentation plant. We have studied this in school. It consists of 3 layers: pebbles, charcoal, and sand. Filtered water comes out. I take it to my well. I have an open well. Many people have closed open wells. I have a well. If you don't have a well, you can store this water in a drum or a tank also. It's all possible. If you have, I recommend open wells, but if you have wells, even if it rains, water seeps in. In Tamil, we call it as ooth. By closing the wells, you are not allowed the water to seep in. Here again, only piping cost. There's no daily maintenance, no recurring cost. The second one is groundwater recharging. I saw water stagnating in my house in one place, and outside my house also, in the gate also, in the street, lots of water is stagnating. Water stagnation means mosquitoes, health hazard. I've taken the water below the ground by using started pipe. I recharge the groundwater. One common mistake people do, I've visited many buildings, public buildings, private buildings. They take the water from the terrace and they let it into the ground. That's a big mistake. Terrace water should never be let it into the ground. That should only be filtered and stored and reused. If you can't filter it also, okay, store it and reuse it. Only the groundwater, runoff water, you should use it for recharging. You see this from the terrace, the water falls here. This is a filtration plant, pebbles, charcoal, sand. The filtered water goes into my well. This is the last 2 days rain, very nominal rain. See how much of water I'm saving. Next, I'm moving on to my next installation is solar installation. I have a 3 kilowatt system. My entire house is connected, including 2 air conditioners. Wherever I go, people ask this question, can we connect air conditioners? It's a logical question because air conditioners consume more power. Lights and fans do not consume more power at all, only your appliances. Only difference is 10 years ago, I went for inverter ACs. Not many people knew what is an inverter AC. Even today, many people don't know. Inverter ACs consume lesser power. The starting current is less. The conventional AC, starting current is more, so you need more panels. So I connected 2 air conditioners 10 years ago. What I have not connected is water heater or geyser. But that's a different technology called solar thermal. The heat energy heats the pipe, you circulate the water and water gets heated. The 15 amp plug points are not connected. That's your micro ovens, induction stove and things like that. If they consume more power, you need more panels. There are 2 types of solar installations. One is known as off-grid, that is with the battery backup. That was what was prevalent for a long time. Last 2, 3, 4 years, on-grid has come out. Without the battery backup also, today you can generate solar. Morning to evening, solar generates. Solar runs your load. After sunset, your load picks up the grid power. In this, there's one drawback. Mark my words very carefully. During daytime, if there is a power cut, even if sun is shining, solar will not generate electricity. Solar will not generate electricity in the absence of grid power. So that is known as on-grid. That's a major drawback. Therefore, we go with off-grid system. In the off-grid system, we store the electricity in the battery. My batteries are charged by solar. So after sunset, automatically battery takes over. During daytime or nighttime, if there is a power cut, battery will supply the load. Everything is seamless. I have both the installations in my house, off-grid and on-grid. I have both the installations in my house. I'm probably one of the earliest houses where I've automated the process also. So much so, if I'm sitting in my room, I do not know whether my lights are working on solar or battery or grid. There's one more concept in this on-grid. Why this on-grid came up? During daytime, we waste power, we don't consume more. So we said we'll give it back to the grid. Again, there's no original idea. This is what they do in Germany, Spain, and UK. These are the European countries where large amount of rooftop solar plants are there. Again, I'm focusing only on rooftop solar plants, individual houses, and smaller establishments. I'm not talking about megawatt scale, ground mounted. I'm talking only rooftop. In the grid power, without the battery backup, the excess I give it to the grid and I get certain credits for that. As one of the authors of the scheme for Tamil Nadu, it was launched about 4 or 5 years ago, but now the government has tweaked the rule, so the scheme is not attractive right now. Earlier, I used to export 1 unit, I used to get 0.9 units back. I'm still eligible under the old scheme. From March 2019, they changed the scheme. For every unit you export, they give you 2 rupees 28 paise. It is known as a feed-in tariff. This scheme is not at all attractive right now as it is. Therefore, I recommend people to go with off-grid battery backup, so that in the evening, if you save one unit, you're going to save 6 rupees instead of getting 228. Solar I did for no pollution. I do not consume fossil fuels. I save foreign exchange for the country. This is my biggest contribution to the society. This is the objective for which I installed solar. I don't talk about it now to the common public. In this forum, I'm talking about it. This is an enlightened audience. I can talk about it. But what are the benefits for a common man? There's no separate wiring, no daily maintenance. I'm the laziest person under the sun. Rainwater harvesting, no daily maintenance. Solar, there's no daily maintenance. I save electricity. This is the biggest benefit for me. I have protected myself against tariff increase. The panel life is about 25 years. In 25 years, government is definitely going to increase the tariff. For example, when I installed it in January 2012, the tariff was 3 rupees a unit in Chennai, subsequently increased it to 575. Then it was increased to 660. Within 3 years, it is more than double. Last 2 years, virtually there is no government, so they are not increased. TANGEDCO is making the highest losses in the country, and they are coming for huge criticism. This is because last 2 years they are not revised the tariff. There is a tremendous pressure on TANGEDCO to increase the tariff. Anyway, over 25 years, definitely government is going to increase the tariff. I am protected against any increase in the tariff. My cost is frozen on the day I've done the solar installation. Major benefit. This is a solar plant in my house. This is a panel on my rooftop. Panel on my rooftop. The black box is the inverter. The white one is the battery. Entire system. 1 kilowatt requires about 100 square feet terrace area. Some salient points about rooftop solar. It can be installed wherever you want to consume electricity. It can be installed where you want to consume electricity. Conversely, you can consume electricity where it is produced. For example, I am consuming it in my house, I am producing it in my terrace. So you don't need heavy evacuation infrastructure. One of the biggest benefits of solar renewable energy. There are different renewable energies like nuclear, hydropower, wind power, but they cannot be installed in smaller capacities. In solar, we can do even half a kilowatt. This is modular in execution, solar. I can install half a kilowatt today, half a kilowatt tomorrow. I can keep on adding panels whenever I want it. Presently, it costs about 65,000 rupees per kilowatt. This is for on-grid without the battery. No subsidy is available. No subsidy is available. Battery is extra depending on the requirements. I want you to observe this table a little carefully. Like in the calendar days, you call it as BC and AD. Here I call it as before solar and after solar. The blue column you see, they're all before solar. I installed it in January 2012. So all the white one is after solar. All these numbers, they're units of consumption for 2 months. You know, in Chennai, we get the reading every 2 months. Please focus on 1 month. August, I used to consume 1,740 units. It has gone down to 400 units. See, at the end of the year, I used to consume 8,100. It has gone down to 3,900. In fact, it has gone down as low as 2,700 also. This is assuming similar lifestyle or same lifestyle. There's more than 50-60% saving. It's the biggest saving. I move to my next project, which is a biogas. This is nothing but the gobar gas plants. Those days in the villages, in the farmhouses, they used to burn cow dung to produce gas. My biogas is nothing but a gobar gas plant. In the cities, it's difficult to get cow dung, so I've substituted with kitchen waste. What a common man does, what you do, you throw the kitchen waste outside. What happens? It breeds mosquitoes, breeds germs, it's a health hazard. I recycle and reuse kitchen waste. What is kitchen waste? Cooked food, uncooked food, spoiled food, the vegetables what you peel off every day, that is known as a kitchen waste. I use that kitchen waste to produce cooking gas. And the slurry which comes out of the plant is rich, concentrated organic manure. My main objective is health, I just repeated. I have not installed the biogas. I have not installed the biogas for producing either gas or manure. Both of them are incidental for me, byproducts. My main objective is health. Solid waste management is the biggest problem all over the world, not necessarily in Chennai. Biogas is one of the solutions. We can produce electricity using biogas. In the biogas, there's no pressure, so cooking takes a little more time. This is for the smaller installations. If you go for bigger installations like 500 kg waste per day or 1000 kg waste per day, you can attach an external booster pump, increase the pressure, and connect it to a generator and generate electricity. These are all not futuristic. I have done all these installations in Chennai. I can show this to anyone in Chennai, anytime. What happened? My slide. I can produce electricity. I've done 3-4 projects in Chennai. I appreciate even corporation, Chennai corporation, we all criticize. They've installed a 500 kg waste per day plant in Tiruthiur. 100 street lights are burning on biogas. Pallavaram Cantonment Park, I had no role to play. They called me, they've already done the installation. I gave them some tips. They have got a 500 kg waste per day plant. Entire park is lighted by biogas. There's a 1000 kg waste per day plant in Loyola College in Nungambakam. 2000 people's cooking is done on biogas. And they have attached a booster pump. For larger plants, we can attach booster pumps. No daily maintenance, no odor. Very good item is skins of pumpkin, watermelon, and jackfruit. I got an interesting story here. This I should say in Tamil, not in English. I marketed one and the watermelon. Vendor கிட்ட சொன்னப்ப இந்த பழம் தோல் கொடுப்பா எனக்கு. அது சொன்னார் பழம் வேண்டாமா, பழம் வேண்டாம் தோல் வேணும் எனக்கு. Immediately started shouting, some mad guy has come that தோல் வாங்குறாரு. நான் சொன்ன ஒரு சின்ன திருத்தம் சார், நான் வாங்கல, உங்க வேஸ்ட் நான் எடுத்து போறேன், நீங்க எனக்கு 20 ரூபாய் கொடுக்கணும் completely. The starting point is cow dung. I just said that the science is like this. Cow dung generates bacteria. Bacteria reacts with the food to generate methane gas. That process is anaerobic methanization. This is my front view. This is the inlet wall where I feed the. Why the screen has become small? How to increase the size of the screen? Yeah. This is my front view. This is the inlet wall where I do the feeding. This is a digester where gas is produced. This is a floating drum where gas is stored. This is the pipe through which I take the gas to the kitchen for cooking. You see the ordinary PVC pipe because there is no pressure. This is my back view. There is an outlet here. The slurry comes and falls automatically outside. I don't have to scoop it out or I don't have to take it out. Everything is automatic. I simply have to watch. The only thing which I need to do is to feed the waste here into the tunnel. That's what I do. Only thing is, the waste has to be chopped into smaller pieces, soak it into water, make it something like a pulp, and then feed it. You get crushers for that. You crush the waste and feed it inside. My next project is a terrace kitchen garden. I want you to observe this slide carefully. I may ask a question a little later. You see, I grow all in my pots. When I started this, people were discouraging, no, your floor will get spoiled. I said, no, I'm going to produce everything in the pots. I'm not going to use my floor at all. Only thing is, you see here, all are plastic bags. They are known as grow bags. They are made out of high density polythene. I was addressing a school 3-4 years ago. The third standard girl asked me a question. So we are talking about pollution and environment. Why are you using a plastic bag? I immediately held my ear. I said, I'm making a mistake. I fully agree. I should not be using it. Now I switched back to mud pots. I'm particularly mentioning this because if some of you want to start a kitchen garden, please don't go for the plastic bags. It's all available in the market. It's too tempting to buy it. Don't do that. Go for regular mud pots. You see that? See at the back. I got a small house. I'm in a thick residential locality, Kill Park. I don't have a big bungalow, but I planted neem tree, bamboo tree, and almond tree. From my terrace, this looks like this. I don't see opposite houses. I don't see the road. I'm in a world of my own. This is a forest I've created. These are my terrace kitchen garden slides to give you an overview. See the fruits. I have not done any calculation, no economics. Maybe it is cheaper to buy from outside. But the pleasure of seeing the vegetables grow right in front of your eyes, that is priceless. Again, during this so-called pandemic lockdown period, first 2-3 months, I never went to the market. I plucked from my terrace and started cooking. I grow lots of vegetables. Some of them are seasonal, some of them are perennial. I keep experimenting. I go to my next project, is known as air to water generator. See, this looks like a water cooler. I just plug it in. This produces drinking water from atmospheric air. This technology is like an air conditioner. There's a compressor which compresses the moisture in the air and gives you drinking water. This is an Israeli technology. Israelis developed it about 60 years ago. In Israel, as you know, there are no water bodies, there are no rivers, no lakes. So they have to survive. So they developed this technology to get water from the moisture. Somebody can switch off the mute, please. It's annoying. So this is a 25 liters per day machine, runs on electricity. It consumes about half a liter of unit per liter of water. In my house, it runs on solar. There are different capacities available, 100 liters, 500 liters, 1000 liters. IIT Madras has developed this about 2 years ago. Imagine it was developed in Israel 60 years ago. It is coming to our country only now, last 2, 3, 4 years only, it is coming into our country. Again, one minor tragedy in the sense, somebody was making this in Chennai about 10 years ago. I met them, I wanted to buy the machine. It was looking a little crude. Unfortunately, the two partners fought and they closed on the factory. Anyway, this I got it from Mumbai. One more important information, 100% Indian. There's no Chinese component. The compressor is American compressor but made in Pune. It's a 100% Indian product. Again, I'm very proud to say I'm 100% Indian. I do not promote Chinese product, not because of the recent wars, even last 10 years. What we don't make it only, I get it from China. Just for the sake of price, because it's available cheap, I will not buy from China. My solar panels 10 years ago, my panels are Indian, my inverters are Indian, completely. Everything is Indian. Then I move to my next interesting project, solar car. You know, all of you have seen, lots of electrical vehicles are now coming into the market last decade. It was there for the last 5-6 decades also, but the oil lobby strictly prevented from promoting electrical vehicles. But now oil lobby has lost their clout. Electrical vehicles have started coming in. Already in India also now 4 or 5 brands have been introduced. But they're all quite expensive. I applied my mind. What is a electrical vehicle? It's run by a battery. So if I can charge my battery in my house, why can't I charge the battery in the car? Only the location is different. Battery charging is not dependent on the location. So I engaged a fresh team of engineers from SRM University, fresh graduates, a cross-functional team, electrical engineer, mechanical, mechatronics, automobile, electrical. We bought a Reva car from Bangalore. Reva car was the first battery-operated vehicle introduced in India by Maini. Subsequently, it was taken over by Mahindra, but they messed it up. That's a different story. So to keep the cost less for our experimental purposes, we bought a second-hand Reva car from Bangalore, costing me about ₹1,00,000. We retrofitted the panels on top and on the bonnet. These panels are all Chinese. They're all known as micro panels, not available in India, not being made in India. Anyway, I allowed the engineers to buy from China. They retrofitted it. I park this vehicle in the sunshine for about 3 hours. My batteries get charged. I drive it for about 25 kilometers. It's a very old car and the batteries are very, very old. If you put a new battery, it can run 200 kilometers also completely. I used to drive this in Nungambakam, drop my wife in Laila College and bring her back. She was a faculty in Liba, almost 6 months. Now I've sold the car to the engineers, but they wanted to do further experimentations. I've given it to them. This is the first, I'm making a very challenging statement. This is the first solar powered car in India driving on the streets of Chennai. Many people are talking about it, thinking about it, but not producing it. We have produced this car completely. Now to make a new solar powered car, we need 5 to 10 crores investment. I'm not likely to get that investment. I'm a very young person, only 76 years young. So the engineers, they are struggling to get the funding. So far, they have not succeeded. I'm appealing to you. If anybody is interested in the project, we can take it up. Then I applied my mind again. Lots of electrical two-wheelers and three-wheelers are now hitting the market. I traveled a lot in eastern region, Orissa, Bengal, Chhattisgarh. I went to interiors, not Chennai. I went to places like Tirulur, Chengalpet, Villivakkam, Virudhunagar, that rural places. Thousands of electrical two-wheelers and three-wheelers are running. The tragedy is all of them are Chinese made. Now only last 2-3 years, electrical two-wheelers are being made in Bangalore and in Coimbatore. I said, they're all charging using grid power. So why can't we charge using solar power? So I developed this prototype, this panel, inverter and the battery. You bring the vehicle, plug it in, 3-4 hours, the battery is charged. This can be made into a portable model. Because of this pandemic, further experimentation has been held up. But this can be made a beautiful design. It can be made portable. I can carry it, put it in cinema theaters, railway stations, suburban railway, go to Marina Beach, install it there. People are doing the walking. I can charge the vehicle. All those possibilities are there completely. One project which is pending in my house, I've done it in other houses, is wastewater recycling. You can, lots of water is getting wasted. One person in Anna Nagar has developed a herbal solution. For 1,000 liters water, we just had 40 milliliters. He demonstrated, we took the Buckingham Canal water. Nothing can be worse in the world. The worst water in the world is Buckingham Canal water. We took that, added this drop, entire sedimentation settles down. The top water is actually portable. We have a mental block, we don't drink it, but it is portable. We use it for secondary purposes, for washing car, gardening, mopping, and all those things. The treatment comes to just about 50 paise a liter. No power is required, no chemicals. It's an herbal solution. You can please see a website called Eco Health Products. It's a very, very good product. This can be used even for black water, which is toilet water. I forgot to mention, you can add human waste to biogas. I've done a project in Rajkirpakam near Tambaram. Again, it's not futuristic. It has been done. I can demonstrate it. I can show it. Human waste can be connected to biogas. It produces better gas. Only one minor condition: should not clean the toilet with harpic or chemicals. But nowadays you get lots of organic chemicals. You get bioenzyme. You can use it for cleaning. I mean, for any project you do, there are possibilities of saying no, minus negative points. But for every problem, I jocularly say there are 3 solutions. I come to this. This is one of my very, very important observations. Execution, execution, execution. All of us, we want to do it, we plan to do it, we are thinking of doing it, nothing happens. Unless you execute, you are not going to get the results. I quote a very famous management consultant, Ram Charan, who is based in USA. He's a UP Baya, dairy man, milkman. 40, 50 years ago when he went to US, he did not even know proper English. You don't need English. English is just a language. Only in South India, we give a lot of importance for English wrongly. You know, the English is just a language. It's not a measure of intelligence, not a measure of efficiency, not a measure of capability. He is a consultant for people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. You can't find any better person. His entire philosophy is execution. You execute the projects completely. He told the government of India, abolish Ministry of Planning, have a Ministry of Execution. What this government did, they abolished Ministry of Planning, they got Niti Aayog. They forgot the second part of it, Ministry of Execution. We have one ministry called Ministry of Statistics or Planning or some such thing. No, Ministry of Implementation. But it's not been given the importance. That should be having the maximum importance. You start executing the project, then only you will get the results. I have a very interesting joke here. One man goes to a traveling agent. He tells him, I'm planning to go to America. How much it will cost? The traveling agent tells him, it will not cost you anything. This fellow says, why? Sir, for planning, it will not cost you. If you want to go, it will cost you. Message is, implement the project. Well, only when you implement the project, you will face some problems, you will find some solutions. If you don't implement it, you will not face any problems at all. I have done all the projects. I had no knowledge at all. Yet I have done everything. 15, 20 years ago, there's no Google. Today, what I'm telling you, there's nobody to tell me on those days. Components were not available, technology was not available, yet I've done all these things. That's because I wanted to execute. This one suggestion I'm venturing to give. I've been addressing lots of universities, schools, colleges, vice chancellors. This is also for College of Engineering, Giddy. I address IIT Madras, I address IIT Madras Alumni Association. These topics are not introduced in the curriculum. They attend one-day course, half-a-day course, 10-day seminar somewhere. These courses should be introduced, both in polytechnics, in engineering colleges, in post-graduation. They present a huge paper, but MTech in renewable energy. He knows only that. You ask him to do one implementation, he will not be able to do it. I am saying introduce this at the grassroots level. People should know how to do all these things. I'll tell you another very interesting example here. One engineering college, I'm not naming them, in Chennai. The chairman visited me 5 years ago. My house, he saw it. Then he said, sir, I imported the solar panels, but I'm not able to get a vendor to do the installation. This is 300 kilowatts. I smiled at him. Sir, you are running an engineering college. Why are you looking for a vendor? You got a civil engineering department, you have mechanical, you have electrical, you got electronics. Then I guided them. Mechanical engineering people made the frames, the mounting structure. Civil engineering got the installation on the rooftop. Electrical fellows put the cable. Electronic fellows did the connection. I took my vendor finally to give the finishing touches of the solar part of it. Then I told him, it's 300 kilowatts running 5 years now in Chennai. I told him, introduce solar as a topic in your engineering college. He's yet to do it. That's a tragedy. You need to train people. There's a very good, huge employment potential available. In all these areas, whatever I talk, huge employment potentials are available. Of course, people now looking for jobs where banks and IT companies. Banks, because you don't do any work, you still get your salary. IT company, you sit in an air-conditioned office, press a button and you get your solution. I am probably one of the very rare, I'm IIT, IIM combination. I'm anti-IIT, anti-IIM today. That's a different story. So I dirtied my hands and I started a small-scale manufacturing industry. Whatever I've done, probably first in India. Whatever I've done is probably first in India. It's not because of IIT, not because of IIM. Company. I face challenges. Negative perception. Why do you want to do it? Lack of knowledge. I just said lack of knowledge. So what? The no Google. I'm repeating it again. I found solutions. I'm highlighting lack of inquisitiveness, motivation. How many people have the motivation? You're observing so many things. Can you do something? I used to travel a lot 25 years ago to Germany for my wiring harnesses business. I saw rooftop solar plants. I'm not talking about megawatt scale. I'm not talking about ground mounted. I'm talking about rooftop. The tiled terraces, they used to have solar panels. A country without sunshine, if they can do it, why we cannot do it? That triggered my idea. Components were not available. Vendors were not available. That didn't hold me. BP Solar was advertising. Luminous Solar was advertising. I went and met them 10 years back. They were giving me brochures and pamphlet. I said, boss, I don't want brochures. I wanted to come and do the installation. Luminous, I gave them 100% advance check. 6 months, they could not come and do it. Of course, they returned the money. That is good. Lack of social entrepreneurship. Hundreds of opportunities. Question is, are entrepreneurs available to take this? Everybody wants $1 million tomorrow morning. All these startups have spoiled the entire atmosphere. God knows what's happening. Paytm, Make My Trip, and your Amazon. Amazon is the highest loss-making company. But they're all talking about valuation, generation. I just don't know. I don't understand what they're talking, including my son and daughter. They got a startup. They're all talking about valuation. I said, boss, you do work. They don't do that. There's several misconceptions and myths. I'm a one-man show. I've not created an institution. I'm trying to clear the myths and misconceptions. I do all these installations across India. I'm doing it. But I do it pro bono. I don't charge consultancy charges. I don't even take commission from the vendors. I handhold, I motivate people. First I motivate, then I give clarifications and I do the installations. One more interesting story. Last month, I did a 1 kilowatt installation in Himachal Pradesh. One lady called me from Himachal Pradesh after seeing my video. Sir, I want to do it. I said, please go ahead. I gave all the clarification. She got a local vendor. I guided him. She has done 1 kilowatt last month in Himachal Pradesh. That is her positive attitude. I want only positive attitude, nothing else, and of course some money. How I solve the problem? I identified specialists. I don't know anything, whatever I've done. I can drive a scooter. I cannot make it, I cannot repair it. Like that, whatever I've done, solar, biogas, terrace, kitchen, garden, I asked specialists to come and advise me to find solutions. And I invested money. My 1 kilowatt in January 2012 cost me 3 lakhs of rupees, which you can do it at 65,000 now. Now I come to subsidy. Everybody says, can we get subsidy? I hit them on the head. Why do you need subsidy? You're buying a car, you're buying a TV, you're buying an air conditioner, no subsidy is available. Solar, they gave a subsidy of a few years ago because the cost was very high, knowledge was not there, so people, they wanted people to administer, use it. Like when you're a small child, you're holding the hand, but once you grow up, does your mother hold the hand? You know, they don't. So subsidy is a similar concept. At the beginning stage, for promoting, they are giving it. Now they are not giving it. Of course, you get it in Gujarat, you get it in Telangana. Finally, this is my last slide. Do not expect government to find the solutions. Find your own solutions. John F. Kennedy, American president, made a famous statement 50, 60 years ago. Ask not what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the country. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do you expect government to find the solutions? You touch your heart and say, have you done anything to the society? Have you done anything to find a solution? No. What is easy? We all complain, complain, complain. I want you to get out of the complaint mode. Start finding solutions. Finally, there's a small saying, do not curse darkness, light a candle. I'm adding, light a solar. And I conclude by saying, I'm keen to leave a better planet to the next generation. This sounds political, doesn't matter, but I'm firmly convinced about this motto. Keen to leave a better planet to the next generation. Finally, a big thank you for all the participants and the organizers. I once again apologize for the initial mess. I don't know what happened. I'm not tech savvy. Anyway, my contact
Suresh,
details.
can you open up the session for question and answers?
Yes.
Thank you. One by one of you can unmute and ask a question, please.
I said I'll ask you a question in this slide. Can you observe anything very particular, very peculiar in this slide? Anything?
You are not sharing the slides. Which slide do you want?
I'm just showing this terrace garden slide.
Oh, okay.
Terrace garden.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Mala is sharing your slides.
Okay, the terrace garden. In the meantime, others can ask question. Okay.
I will ask a question. I see these pots, they are green in color.
Yes.
Are they plastic?
I told you this plastic. They're made out of high density polythene. These are woven sacks. They're all plastics.
So they're not biodegradable plastic, or are they?
Not biodegradable. I just addressed the third standard girl asked me this question 4 years ago when I addressed the school. You are an environmental man. Why are you using plastic? I apologize. I said I overlooked this. I made a big mistake. Now I will not do it. I'm buying only mud pots now. And I'm telling all of you, don't fall for the temptation of plastic. Go for mud pots. Go for mud pots.
In America, we have biodegradable plastic these days. Perhaps that is something you can use then.
No, here also it's come. Biodegradable has come, but they need a thicker plastics.
That's
Since I got out of it, I have not done research in plastics. I've gone for the easier and simpler option of mud pots, and which falls into my philosophy of environment, no pollution. No, several options are there. I am just trying to tell you what I have done.
What's your question, Suresh? Maybe you can pose it and we'll see if somebody can answer.
Yeah, in this, you see, I've raised all the pots from the bottom. Whatever in the waterfalls, two things. You should not put a lot of water. You need a very small quantity of water. Waterfalls, by raising the pots, I give made a provision for water to dry the moisture. So my floor is not spoiled. Other people say floor will get spoiled. We cannot do terrace garden. No. I again numerously say for every problem there are minimum 3 solutions. I found a solution here. I made provision for air to dry the moisture.
Any questions, folks? Please go ahead and ask them.
Sir, you had mentioned that when rainwater harvesting, whatever the runoff water from the terrace should not be let into a chamber. What's the reason?
You're wasting water. Just by recharging groundwater, you don't achieve any objective. You are trying to recharge the aquifer. You are trying to reach the aquifers, but that's not going to be a solve. Whereas you can store the water and start using it immediately. That's a better option. Only what you cannot store it, like the groundwater, runoff water, that you take it and they recharge the groundwater. Terrace water, please do not use it for recharging the groundwater.
It's not going to spoil the groundwater.
No, it's not going to spoil at all. It's definitely not going to spoil.
But you specifically said don't use it. I thought, okay, there's some other.
The better use of the water. By storing it, you can reuse it much better.
But if you have a well in your house and have put a kind of a pit for all this terrace water to go, that is fine, isn't it? And a duck pit about 6-7 feet and with some charcoal, etc. put into it.
No, are you storing water? My question is.
No, I'm not storing water. The rainwater runs into that.
No, remove it. Please start storing water either in a drum or in a sump. Nowadays, you don't even have to put a concrete drum, a concrete tank. There are several plastic drums are available. You can use those drums for saving water. Message is terrace rainwater, please store it. Do not use it for recharging the groundwater.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh, for such a wonderful presentation. I've got a couple of questions.
Now, one more thing.
Sure.
People say, I'm used to the word Madras. I belong to the older generation. Madras is water deficient. That is the impression all of us have got, including myself. I've demonstrated, I've not bought a single bottle of water. I've not bought a single tanker of water in the last 30 years. Enough water is available in the city. It has to be managed. You know, 1,000 square feet terrace with a 10 days rain, we can save 1 lakh liters of water. That is a statistics. Huge water is there. I got rainwater. I got corporation water. I'm in Kilpark. I got the air to water machine. I have no problems about water.
How much does this air to water machine cost, sir, and any brand?
Yeah, there's a branded one from Mumbai. It costs 50,000 rupees for a 25 liters per day machine. They got 100 liters, 500 liters, 1,000 liters also. Most ideal for institutions. See, like last year when no water was available even by paying, in 2 schools were installed. In each floor we installed 2 units. In Corporation of Madras, we have installed 1. There we gave it free of cost for people to see. What is available right under your nose. You don't have to walk kilometers. You don't have to pay the tanker fellow. You have to bribe the tanker fellow to get a priority allotment. Anything shortage means there's a premium attached. This you can get it.
What is the brand, sir?
This is Aero Water. AAROWATR. Aero Water. IIT Madras brand is Jalavayu. Vayujal. But that product is looking very crude. They need to do lots of improvements. Anyway, they should not be doing this kind of products at all. This is a 10-year-old technology, 100-year-old technology. They are reinventing the wheel.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much. Your presentation was really inspiring. One thing that you mentioned about solar, how much space does the panel take for 1 kilowatt?
1 kilowatt requires about 100 square feet area.
100 square feet. Okay.
Yeah. Roughly, approximately.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So,
yeah.
So Chennai being a coastal city, sir, there is the air is known to be a bit.
Air is known to be a bit.
Have some salinity, and there is the risk of corrosion. So, is there any specific additional requirements for panel installations along the coastal neighborhoods of Chennai?
No, these panels are all silicon panels. They come with a silicon, steel framework. So nothing happens. I've installed it 10 years ago in my house. One of the earliest to do it. I've not seen any deterioration. I've also done it in the coastal areas. There are 2 schools in the ECR road. I've done it about 5-6 years ago. Nothing has happened.
Sir, what are some avoidable mistakes that people commonly make during both installation and maintenance of solar panels?
I will not use the word mistake, but many people have gone to vendors who do not know the solar aspect of it. They take some electrical people, they think it's very simple, install the panel, take the cable and connect it. It's not that simple. Even couple of American companies came to India, very big people in solar like Sun&Solar for ground mounted megawatt scale. They did some rooftop panel and they messed up and they ran away. Sun&Solar has ran away, Borg has also ran away. So go to specialists, people who know the job. Don't go to fellows who claim they know the job. It's not an ordinary electrical activity. It's something more than electrical. You need to balance the panel, battery capacity, inverter capacity, on grid, off grid. Lots of knowledge is involved in that. But now, there are fly-by-night operating. Any business, there's a doctor, a lawyer, a chartered accountant, there are good and bad. So solar installation also, there are good and bad people. So to select good people, I can recommend 1 or 2. I don't take any commission.
So can you go ahead? It might be helpful to the audience.
Pardon?
Can you go ahead with that recommendations? It might help some members of the audience, who can execute, who might be looking from planning to execution of, going solar.
I'm available 24/7 by 365. Contact me. I would like to see whether you are really interested.
Sure, sir.
Or you are like that a traveling person who says, I'm planning to go to America, how much it will cost? No.
Yes, sir.
If you are interested, take some efforts, contact me, I'll try to guide you.
Sir, and one more question. You had mentioned about your biogas installation gives 15 kg gas.
Yes, by feeding 3 to 4 kg waste per day.
Yes, sir. So the 15 kg gas, how often does that 15 kg gas come? I mean, at what interval does the 15 kg gas get generated?
No, it comes on a daily basis. You keep on feeding it, you keep on getting the gas.
15 kg gas per day.
No. 15 kg gas per month. By feeding 3 to 4 kg gas per day waste, you get about 15 kg. My consumption in my house is about 1 cylinder. Okay. So I restricted. But the same plant, if you can feed 20 kg, you can get 3 to 4 cylinders per month. I mean, cylinder may equivalent. I get 15 kg. You can't compress this and put it into a cylinder. Not possible.
Correct.
Not possible. You have the plant, connect it to a stove and use it.
So can you please elaborate? You spoke about the people in Annanagar who had successfully made the Buckingham Canal water quite pure, nearly potable, but definitely usable for domestic uses.
Not correct your word, not nearly potable, it is potable.
Okay.
You can see a website called Eco Health Products.
Okay.
ECO Health Products. One Mr. KP Sunil done a wonderful job. I'm promoting his product in many places. Your grey water completely, what you need to do is collect the grey water in a tank, which is for washing your clothes or washing your hands, that water, including chemicals. You add these drops, entire sedimentation, so you can see it also, how it is settles down. The process is known as flocculation. The top water is potable, not nearly potable, it's potable. I drank that water.
Sir,
Sir, one more thing. You go to America, Singapore, the drinking water, what you get is only treated water. Maybe if you hear this, next time you will not drink that water.
So there are a couple of student leaders of CG. One is Mr. Nikesh, who is the president of Green Brigade, and one is Miss Tejaswini, the president of Gindi Times. Do you have any message for them in particular, since they are interacting with large number of students on a daily basis?
Yeah, motivate people and ask them to do it. My only thing is execution. You prepare papers. I'm not a scientific man. I'm not a scientist. You motivate people, ask them to do the projects and start doing the installation and find out for them what they can do, what they cannot do. Youngsters are the biggest talent pool available. Start motivating them. Bring them, I can show my house, not during this pandemic period, more than 4,000 people are come and see. I can describe an elephant, you can come and see, what it is. I'm again repeating it, all these projects, what I'm talking, nothing is futuristic. All these things have been done in Chennai, completely. So the student leaders should take up, see what happens, the social organization, the NGOs, all runs on 1 or 2 people. One interesting experience, again I'll take 2 minutes of your time. The student leaders can help here also. Lot of dry waste is generated in the households. Dry waste meaning plastics, paper, invitation cards. Nowadays, you all buy through Amazon, you get that bubble wraps, your Tetra packs, Coca-Cola tins. There's one agency in Hyderabad. It's not an NGO, it's not a social organization, it's a business enterprise. They collect the dry waste from households, door to door. You don't segregate it. You put it in a plastic bag and give it to them. It's a recycled plastic bag. They aggregate it, they segregate it, and they sell this to industries as raw material. Their tagline is not a single gram goes to landfill. I have now started this in Chennai, in Keel Park, last week. I've given them nearly 500 registrations in Chennai. You can start, and they pay 4 rupees a kilo for this. Whatever your kabaddi wala does not take, these people take. So there's no competition between these people and kabaddi wala. I just told you, the student leaders should say all this, whatever I'm doing, the huge employment potential, entrepreneurship potential. Take up solar charging station. Those days, we used to give STD booths and Xerox to physically handicapped people. I used to joke also saying that it's not STD booth and Xerox, it is telecommunication and print reproduction, to give a sophisticated word. Telecommunication and print reproduction. When you say STD and Xerox, it looks a little down, not very attractive. So you can develop this solar charging stations, develop this biogas plants, schools, colleges. How many places are there? How many parks are there? There's employment generation. You collect this waste, process it, produce electricity and supply it. If everybody wants a job in TCS or in Infosys, it's not available.
Sir, good morning, sir. This is Nikesh, the president of Green Brigade Club of CEG.
Okay.
Sir, how electric vehicle is different from solar vehicle, sir? Which is better, sir, according to you?
Sir, in Tamil ஒரு பழமொழி இருக்குது, விடிய விடிய ராமனை கேட்டு சீதைக்கு ராமன் சித்தப்பான்னு சொல்லிட்டு. Electrical vehicles are run by battery. Battery is charged by solar. Now, how do you charge your electrical vehicle? How do you charge the battery? You plug it into the grid current, isn't it? So the grid is
Yes, sir.
supplying. So grid you have to produce by using fossil fuels. I'm cutting off that and I'm producing electricity from the solar and I'm using that solar for charging your battery. Totally different concept.
Okay,
Your
sir.
electrical vehicles is only a partial solution for avoiding pollution because your IC engines produce lots of pollution, diesel and petrol. So they went for electrical vehicle. They have come one stage. I'm saying go next stage. Charge your car batteries using solar.
Yes, sir. In order to avoid pollution, we are going to implement this electric vehicle in our college campus, sir. So only I asked you, sir.
For that electrical vehicle, you install a solar panel, you charge your battery from the solar.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
That is possible.
I'll talk to you about that, sir.
Please welcome always.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Suresh,
Yes,
wonderful, you've done phenomenal work.
thank you.
I just want to check with you
Yes,
the small apartment complex.
yes.
Suppose for common amenities like pumps. Of course, I do not know, the load might be heavy. Just want to know whether lighting, pumps, and lift also I'll add for question's sake. Can we have a solar system established, say 6 apartment, 10 apartment
There are
complexes?
not 10. There are monthly apartments in ECR Road, 300 apartments. Lifts and common area lightings has been connected to solar. It is possible. It was done 5-6 years ago. You can easily do it. Now technology is evolving. Now you get better inverters. You can do very, very effectively.
No, not lighting alone. I'm talking of pumps also because
There are lifts
starting
and pumps. I'm talking about lifts and pumps.
Oh, okay.
Lifts and pumps.
Oh,
It is possible. It is possible. I
It
can
is
do it
possible.
tomorrow morning for you.
okay. I'll get in touch with you, sir.
Yes,
Directly.
please, welcome, welcome. Why not for your flats? I'm telling you, I am
Yeah.
asking a counter question. How
Yeah,
many
for our
flats
flats only. No, it is
how many flats are there? Why don't you connect your flats also into lights and fans and TV?
I see. No, ours is a small complex. About 6 flats are there.
There's nothing called small or big. It's a 6 flats are there. For each flat you can connect it.
Hmm.
My height is 5 feet 4 inches. That is data. I'm tall or small, short is opinion. So you say I got a small. Don't say small. You got 6 flats. That is data. I can connect all the 6 flats plus your common area. I can do that also. See, in flats, I'm pushing you for this because in the flats, technologically we can do it, but there is a mental block. I will not do it. I will not allow you to do it. That is attitude prevalent.
Yeah. No, when I meant small, I did not mean the size. I said the complex size.
The complex is not that. Sir, nothing called small or big. You data, sir. I got 6 flats. Each flat 2 BHK. That's all very simple. No, I provoke people. That's a different story. I provoke people.
Okay.
I don't let them off so easily. One important question I'm expecting nobody has asked so far. Maybe I'll ask myself. People ask me wherever I go, what is the return on investment? I'm investing, especially for solar. I'm investing so much. What is the return on investment? My immediate answer is I'll hit him on the head. I said, don't ask this question. You are installing equipments like a AC, you got a car, you got a TV, washing machine. Do you ever calculate return on investment? In fact, in the air conditioner, is it possible to calculate return on investment? Not possible. So if you don't calculate return on investment for all these equipments, why do you want to do it for solar? So far, nobody has been able to answer this question to me. Don't do it. For domestic use, there's nothing called return on investment or payback period. That's only for business purposes or business application. I want to invest in project A or project B. What is the return on investment? What is the payback period? I will ask that question, not for using it in my house. Again, in solar, the payback period is about 6 to 7 years in today's cost. But if the tariff increases, the payback period comes down completely. And again, if the payback period is 6 years, the balance 15, 20 years, your project is free. Isn't it? For that, you can go for discounted cash flow and all those things. I can talk all the sophisticated language, I can talk. But simple common man's language, payback period is 6 years. From 7th year onwards, till 25 years, the project is free.
Thank you, Suresh. I do believe return on investment is indeed priceless. There's no doubt. And I agree with you. The questions, I think, have come to an end. We'd like to say thank you, Vinay. If you could go ahead and give vote of thanks. Thank you.
First of all, thank you to Mr. Suresh, commonly known as Solar Suresh, for taking time out and bearing with us through the slight glitches in the early part of the session and persisting. I think persistence is something that you've been demonstrating for the past 25 years, and this morning it was no exception. Thank you, Ms. Malaraj, for introducing the speaker. Thank you, Ms. Shobha, for conceiving this whole session and ensuring and inviting Mr. Solar Suresh. Thank you to Alumni Club for putting together such a wonderful session. Especially in times of pandemic, we can't gather together at the club. But, by doing this, we are able to gather together from the comfort of our homes. And also thank you, Alumni Club, for making it open to all. So, students of CEG and others could also attend. I would also thank the CEG student leaders for, taking time out from their, busy schedules of online classes and compressed academic calendars, and also for asking these wonderful questions and also showing interest to further engage. It's this further engagement. It's not about the session, forget it and go back, but it's this further engagement and way forward that, makes this full effort worth it. So thank you. And thank you to the rest of the audience, because there's no event without an audience. So thank you all. Have a wonderful Sunday, and hope we can all implement and execute and not just plan what Mr. Suresh has said.